This guy do a heavy metal podcast. Good does a heavy metal podcast. This guy does a heavy metal podcast. Good. What's he doing now? Reading stories. Weekly heavy metal news to you. From his favorite little place to go. Blab and mouth to read the stories to you. This guy do a heavy metal podcast. He love you very much. A heavy metal podcast. You listen and you watch it. The heavy metal podcast. You love it very much. It's a heavy metal podcast. 203, I say, 203, I say, it's a Jive Talkin Shane Diablo heavy metal podcast. You listen right now. You tell all your friends, you tell your mom and dad, you support this podcast. For heavy metal news, heavy metal weekly news, done don't give you no blues. Now it's time to start the heavy metal podcast. Heavy metal time to start the heavy metal podcast. Gonna listen, gonna think, gonna watch a podcast. Gonna listen, gonna heavy metal podcast right now. Welcome, one and all. Happy Spookster Halloweens to ya. Full moons galore. Here's the crazy thing that just happened is I've set this whole thing up for this particular podcast, episode 3 of the Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. I'm happy you're here, and I set all of this stuff up, and the minute I hit the click button, that fan on the laptop started to go. The minute I hit the record button, I had set it all up for quiet time, and the minute I hit the record button, but this will not stop me from my goal. My goal is to deliver to you each and every week heavy metal, delicious, good news. The stories that I find intriguing from my favorite place to go to read intriguing stories, okay? It's that simple. We approach these stories with a tender heart and love, and we try to learn a little something from it. And I welcome you here. I'm happy as a clam that you're here. If this is your first time here, this is a no request zone. What does that mean? It means that every video out of the 5,000 videos that I have put out for rock songs, that's right, 5,000 songs, nearly 5,000 different songs from bands from all over the world. This place here, Jive Talkin, you do not put your request. There is a request in there, that's fine, okay, but this is the Jive Talkin is the no request zone, because I want to get your feedback from the episode that I did the following week, okay? You give me pointers, you give me tips, you give me corrections, you give me pats on the back. Those are fun to get to. I hope you're going to enjoy your wonderful Halloween season, or I hope you've enjoyed it. We got Peter Criss coming up here. He's got a spooktacular surprise for Halloween. Peter Criss, the cat man. You know what that is. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to predict what that is. That is Peter Criss. He's got an official YouTube channel I didn't know about. But what I'm willing to bet is he's going to do a rendition of karaoke styled or whatever, a Monster Mash or something. On Halloween, he's going to release on his Peter Criss channel, I believe, a some kind of a Halloween hit song for you. But he's put up a kind of a surprise. Look out for Halloween. I'm going to show you that little ad. We got Bruce Dickinson says he did an 8-minute version of the Star Spangle Banner, or whatever the hell it is. You know, a minute of propaganda is one thing, but come on, 8 minutes of it. What the hell are you singing for 8 minutes? I didn't even know that song was 8 minutes long. Anywho, I mean, I am glad you are here. I'm loving you so damn much. I hope you're taking good care of yourself. I hope you're taking 15 minutes out of your busy scheduled day. Well, I've got to take the kids here, and I've got to do this, and I've got to wash the car, and then I've got to pay that bill, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. And then the wife says if I don't do this, then I got to... Hope you're taking 5 to 15 minutes a day out of your day to spend it with yourself in silence, quiet, and just reflecting. Not reflecting on the argument you had with somebody or the thing that you've got to do over here. No, that's the mind trying to tell you what you need to be thinking about. What you want to be thinking about is absolutely nothing. You sit and breathe. 15 minutes. Creeps in, you say, I know, I got to get Candy over to our goddamn ballet classes. I know it. Out. Then you'll find that you want to go 30 and 40 and 45 minutes, and then you're going to want to go an hour, and then you're going to get deeper and deeper into the meditation. You're going to realize how much you love yourself and how much credit you have never given yourself for anything. Is this a different kind of heavy metal news podcast? Some say so. The few, well, I'm going to say the great folks that have listened to this podcast, the wonderful, ahead of their time, really ahead of their time. They know what's going on, okay? They understand, and I thank you for that. Let me have a sip of my beverage here. We're going to get into it. Today is a very fantastic and magical day. So many things are in alignment today. Get outside if you can. You're not going to know about this, but what I would suggest to you is each and every day, get outside and get some sun on your face and breathe it in deep. And let it out and just say thank you. Even if you're like, oh, I ain't got a goddamn thing to say thank you about, pal. You're breathing. You know. Any thank you can get to let it out to the universe. Thank you, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because as soon as you do that, the universe says, what? He thanked me. I'm giving him something yummy. I'm giving him something good. He thanked me. Appreciates the universe and the cosmic clock, the cosmic timing. And so he's getting a goodie. Roddy Bottom of Faith No More. He is the keyboardist man. That is him right there in the plaid shirt. He believes it to be the case that Faith No More, nay, is done. I could have told you that because I get the feeling that Mike Patton, lead singer for Faith No More, has never wanted to be there. I've seen them 4 or 5 times in my day, and I don't really remember a time where he seemed like he was excited to be around any of those guys, except for when he first got in the band. We're going to learn about this. I wanted to look at this story on Faith No More not ever reuniting, because I thought perhaps there might be a little nugget in there from Mike Patton or something. Of course, he canceled that tour with Faith No More, correct? But he's been out on the road banging it out with Scott Ian and his buddies in Mr. Bungle. So, you know, the curtain is off now, and it's clear. Look, I just don't want to be jamming with you guys. Roddy Bottom, he doesn't see Faith No More reunion happening again ever. I don't think anyone's up for it at this point. So I believe that we might get a little bit of information here. In a new interview with Greg Prato of Alternative Nation, Faith No More co-founder, musical trailblazer and queer icon Roddy Bottom, he's got that other band with his lover. Is it called Two Man or Two Man, Two Way, Two? He's promoting the upcoming release of his memoir, The Royal We. He was asked if he would consider playing shows again with his bandmates. He responded, I don't think so. No. Pressed for a reason for his reluctance to reunite with the influential alt-metal act, which scrapped all of its previously announced fall 2024 performances more than 4 years ago, saying singer Mike Patton was unable to perform as hoped due to mental health issues, partially exacerbated by the pandemic. Roddy explained, it's not just me. I don't think anyone's sort of up for the whole damn thing at this point. We had a bunch of shows that we were going to play, and then they got canceled just for various reasons. But I don't think the course that we were on has fixed itself. That's a good line. But I don't think the course that we were on has fixed itself. I just don't see it happening again. I don't see it. Honestly, I'm telling you that, Greg Prado. I'm telling you true. I think we did a really dang good job. We played a bunch of reunion tours, and I think we did what we kind of set out to do. So I don't think anyone's upset about it or anything. But I mean, I think Puffy might be a little agitated. I don't think anyone's upset or anything. Hey guys, I just threw that out there, right? I'm not making an acclamation against Puffy on the drums back there. So I don't think anyone's upset about it or anything. I mean, get this ad off. The laptop. Just when you think you can get away from ads, the laptop starts going, hey, your model's... Yeah, no kidding, my model's just about to die. The fan's blowing off. And isn't that just interesting? The fan's all wackadoo for the last 9 months. Let's face it, guys, it's been going a while. You've been putting up with some shit for a while. And now all of a sudden the fan, you know, this fan, it's like, right, send him the ads. Because these aren't ads from anywhere else, like the web browser or the website. This is pop-ups on the laptop. Like, oh, we know it's going to go to shit on you quick, so here's a laptop ad for you. Right? Remember the good old times of, oh, I've had this thing forever? You know, it's like Walkman. A cassette Walkman. When you found a good cassette Walkman that didn't eat your tapes up, had a good loud volume on it and everything else, you babied that sucker like something else. Well, we've played a bunch of reunion tours, and I think we did what we set out to do, quite frankly, Greg Prado. Getting back together would mean a big paycheck, but I think all of us are pretty good with what we did. Sort of just like artistically with the band and committing to ourselves and playing with each other. I think we're all pretty good with the decision that we've made up to now. And I don't see what could really happen more getting back together and doing more shows. So they kind of went out with a whimper instead of a, you know, instead of a great big false farewell tour. They just went out kind of with a whimper. Faith No More, which hasn't played a concert since 2016, initially reunited for touring purposes in 2009, and I will be quite frank with you, that album they put out was okay, but after that long length of time, Invictus, or whatever it was called, Soul Invictus, I was kind of like, Faith No More, who hasn't been playing concerts 2016, initially reunited for touring purposes in 2009, 12 years after issuing its previous studio set Album of the Year. I love that album. Saw them on that tour. And followed that up with 2015's Soul Invictus album. Asked by Alternative Nation, we get to the meat and potatoes. We're like Shane's podcast. We get to the meat and potatoes at Alternative Nation. Asked by Alternative Nation what he recalled about Faith No More's reunion shows, Bottom said, "Is this Greg Prado from?" Indeed it is. I'm sorry for that. When we did the first reunion tour, Greg, we had broken up for like almost 15 years, and it was kind of like, I used to have dreams when I was younger. I get to school and, it's a good little bit of my map. Right when it gets down to that little center. I just say, I get to school and I says, oh my God, I'm going to fail at school at some point after Faith No More broke up. I kept having these dreams that I would show up and, oh my God, Faith No More was doing a reunion tour and I forgot to learn these songs. That used to be a dream, you know, kind of a thing, you know, when you're a young rocker and you're getting your bands going, is you'd have these dreams where you flop in front of a big crowd or something. You never do you? That's what makes you always proud, once you come off the stage and you say, you know what, I was so nervous about that, and then there was nothing to be nervous about. Well, I kept having these dreams that was a nightmare I kept having. And then we structured a whole tour and learned the songs and played the songs and did the tour, and it's like, I was able to address that nightmare in real, actual physical sense. I could do it. And I think it was key in moving forward in my life in some weird way. It was. Every lesson, every challenge, everything is a lesson guiding you or guiding you on the path or off the path to where you need to go. And you know your intuition and your gut and your heart, not your mind. Don't listen to your mind. Whenever you ever said, oh, my brain was thinking of this idea and it was good. When you say, I should have listened to my heart. I should have listened to my gut. They're a connected system, my friends. The heart, the mind, connected. They work 10 power, magical 10 power, if you use them together. If you have them separate, that's your problems. And I think it was a key move in getting that, in a weird way, I got through that. Plus, it was just really fun. Billy Gold, Faith No More's bass player, do you know him? He's that little fella. And I haven't been friends since we were like, oh, you have been friends since you were like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. So it was fun to sort of tap back into that friendship and just hang out. Just hang out and have fun. Last April, Faith No More's drummer, Mike Borden. Now, this is where some sauce might come in, because I felt like he was saying, I'd like to do more. Of course, Mike Borden, you'd know him from Ozzy Osbourne Band and several other things I'm sure they might mention. Mike Borden addressed the band's status in a new interview with Let There Be Talk podcast with rock and roll comedian Dean Dale Ray. Now, Dean Dale Ray podcast is indeed the podcast where I heard the story from John 5 about him and the candy falling out of the pocket on Rob Halford's white couch. And Rob Halford thought it was just shit, that the cat shit on the couch. But it was really John 5's candy melting out of his pocket. That's where I heard that. So go find Let There Be Talk, Dean Dale Ray, John 5, and you too can hear the story of the candy that... All I can say is, and I think I do, want this to be on the record. Now I do. Because we don't promote ourselves, we don't talk about ourselves, and that's really been to our detriment. But we've been rehearsing for 6 ding-dang months for these dates in September and October. 2021. We've been rehearsing instrumentally, and we've been incredibly sounding phenomenal. Incredibly sounding phenomenal. I mean, the bass player, shaka-da-bing-dong. You know him? I mean, that bass player, wow. I've never heard us sound this good. With that bass player, I've never heard it. This is how these songs sounded in my mind. And we've never gotten that on album, on live, whatever. I mean, we were in sync. We were ready. We were prepared. And it came to pass that when the gear was in the truck, when it was rolling down the road to Chicago, rolling down the rolling lane. Faith No More truck rolling down the river, Chicagoland, Windy City. Sorry. When it was rolling down in a windy city of Chicago 36 hours before we were supposed to be on stage, and our guy, Mike Patton, doesn't show for the rehearsal. The one rehearsal that we're going to do with him. So these guys have been beating, they've been banging out those songs without him for 6 months. And then the one where he shows up to do it, Michael, you knew months and months before that you weren't going to do it, okay? So if there, and I understand your mental health is key, number one. So whenever the moment strikes where your intuition and your heart tells you, I should not do this, this is not for me, then you say, this is not for me, period. But I have the theory that you did know a little bit sooner than just 36 hours before. And you could have said, You might as well stop practicing now. Let's get back now. Our guy, Mike Patton, doesn't show for the rehearsal. The one rehearsal that we're going to do. And we go to see him and see what's going on. Now, this is where, if he says this is it, that's it. Okay? What the hell's going on here? Our gear's rolling already to the gig. And it was very clear that he was unable at that point to physically do it. Okay, yeah. So no question, no answer, no foul, no party, no foul. You turn around, you clench your ass cheeks, you walk right back out the door and say, okay. We made the decision that, look, we got to support our guy. It's a good man. It's going to be a shitstorm canceling fucking 75 shows. But none of us want to be the guy that breaks his back and balls and back and forces him to do something. You cannot force the human to do anything. Okay? Let's just get that, Puffy. Where the hell am I? But none of us wanted to be the guy that breaks his balls and back and forces him to do something he's not in the position to be able to do. Can't do it. It wasn't even an argument. The only argument was, how the fuck did we logistically do this? Because we have to, I mean, we did support him in our way. And whether that's perceived or not is beyond, I can't control it. So we pull these shows and just wait to see. Hopefully things are better and try to find out what's around the edges, what's around the old edges of Mike Patton. But ultimately shows started to get booked with another band, referencing Patton's sporadic appearances with long-running avant-garde, yes indeedy, thrash metal band Mr. Bungle in the last 3 years. And that's continued to this day, Mr. Borden says, Puffy. And this is kind of rude on Mike Patton's behalf. So it's my take, it's my position, it's my statement here on it is that he's gone from being unable to do shows to clearly being unwilling to do shows with us, and that's heavy. That's a big difference. That's a big difference, and we haven't really had much dialogue on it. Borden wants to continue just a bit more. Then we're going to move on to Michael Muir. Of course, suicidal tendencies. He's going to give us some good advice. Puffy Borden, the drummer there, dreadlock drummer, he says, it doesn't feel great to me, I'll tell you true. It doesn't feel great to me. It honestly kind of hurts my tits. It hurts my feelings a little bit. But that's personal, okay? That's a private thing that I've just let out to you, that it hurts, it doesn't feel great. It's business. We were never going to force somebody to do something that they weren't able to do. And now, as I say, it looks like it's more of a really being willing to do it. I mean, Michael, you guys are kind of seeming like, that boyfriend, that kind of weird boyfriend. Clearly, you've seen Mike Patton deep tongue kissing this other gal in the mall. And you're kind of going, well, I just don't know if, I'm still waiting for that date. And I'm starting to get the feeling. It's like Mike Patton is over there tongue kissing Scotty and those boys. That it's a big naked pile of love going on over there with Mr. Bungle, okay? That's all I'm saying there. Borden clarified that he was grateful for what Patton has given to us. And he's given... I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Chuck Mosley too, the first Faith No More singer. But Mike Patton, he had some extra grease and sauce and juice and nectar. What he has given to us, I mean, we're blessed to have been blessed by such a gigantic, enormous talent. And he said, and the future? Are you asking me about the future? I don't know. Will he be willing to do stuff or not? It's not for me to say. Michael, no, he's not. Now, I do see Jim Martin right here. I want to get into that because Chuck Mosley, and I see that. Jim Martin, he was the guy responsible for the time that I saw them get booed off stage. And when I say booed, I mean the worst booing I have ever seen a band go through. I saw Faith No More go through with phlegm and booger and spit flying. And it was Jim Martin that started that. Go find any other Faith No More shit that I've done on this channel, and I'll tell the story. I tell my kids a lot of times, this is Mike Borden, he says, especially when they were young, it's like, appreciate what you have, and don't really trip on what you don't have. It's good advice. The drummer continued, so I'm grateful for the time we had with the former Faith No More guitarist Jim Martin. I'm grateful for the time that we had with former Faith No More singer Chuck Mosley. I'm great for the time we've even had with former Faith No More member Courtney Love. What? I didn't know this. Because we learned from all of it. And certainly am I, oh my heavens to Betsy, grateful for the time. Mr. Mike Patton, yeah, because my life would be very different without it. But I can't force him to do something that he, from where I'm sitting at the mall, seeing him tongue kiss that other band over there, it doesn't seem to me like you want to do it with me anymore. Well, everyone's been through that, haven't you? Haven't you been through that where you're at the mall and you're seeing your old girlfriend tongue kissing someone? You're saying, I'm kind of getting the feeling like you don't want to make boom boom with me anymore. It's almost like you want to make boom boom with that guy that you're tongue kissing right now. We're over it. We need a little bit. I need a sip of my drink, and I need some attitude from this man right here. Because this guy says you can't bring me down. And so when you see a picture of a man that looks like that, when you see a man that looks like that with eyes like that, what do you think that the dunk dunk sentence, the dunk dunk subject title of this story is going to be when you look at a man like that? Yeah, you got it. I'm not going to do something I don't want to. That goes for you too. Don't do anything that goes against your intuition, that goes against something you say, I don't want it. Don't do it. I don't care if it's your best friend going, come on, dude. You put on the pantyhose on the fucking head for 2 hours, okay? You're just sitting in the car. If it don't feel right, don't do it. You are here on your own journey. It's wonderful you have children and love and all this around you. Unconditional love for all, but you need to find out you to finish the journey the proper way. Find out who you are inside. Guys, did the mint bother you? I hope the mints don't bother you. You know, thank goodness that this whole podcasting thing didn't work out, you know, with the microphone and everything, because then you'd really hear me sipping on these. Mike Muir comes in, he says, I ain't gonna do something I don't want to do. And I love that. I love this attire that he's got on. At first I thought that was a silk jacket. It turns out, I bet it's a shirt. It's a thicker shirt, so I wouldn't like that and wouldn't wear it. But if it was a silk jacket, I indeed would buy that suicidal jacket. Still looking good. Still holding himself up. I like that he's taken the neutral bandana this time. He may have, you know, I mean, he wears the blue, so I'm down with him, okay? Because he's on the Crip side of things. But it's always good to take a neutral stance when it comes to gang territories. In a new interview with Troy Kalpan of May the Rock Be With You. What this guy has taken AC/DC's, how much they like to use the word rock, and taken Star Wars and mixed them together. May the Rock Be With You. And I'm loving that. Troy, you're doing great things over there. Suicidal Tendency frontman Mike Muir was asked asked to name the one thing that has always remained the same about the band over the past 45 years' existence. Mike responded as transcribed. He says, I've always said that maybe the last show, this might be the last show. And before we agree to something, and even more so, maybe, for the lack of a better word, I'm militant about it. I'm not going to do something that I don't want to do. And that's like a little kid being stubborn. It's like, no. I've heard so many times, this is a great opportunity. 1 million people would love to do that. And I said, well, I don't want to get in their way. Let them do it. 1 million people would love to do this. Well, let them go do it then. If 1 million people would love to do it and you're asking me, then where am I at in the 1 million people lump? Am I in the middle or on the outskirts? Near continued. I think there's going to be a point. Fortunately, I can still move, but there's going to be a point where I'm going to be in a proverbial rocking chair, and it's going to just have the chair is going to be moving back and forth, and all I'll have is my mind. And that's when you reevaluate life, right? When you go inside your mind, when you go inside and you clear out all those old software systems that you've been carrying around your entire life. From ass slapping, crying, and cutting cords to, oh God, it's hungry again, to eat it or you ain't getting up all night. You know what I'm saying? It's a path that you have to get rid of in order to get on with yourself. I've heard this so many times. This is a great opportunity. 1 million people would love to do it. Let them do it then. I said it. I think there's going to be a point. Fortunately, I can still move, but I read all this. And that's when you reevaluate. Yeah, the massive regrets, because there's no do-overs. There's no time machine. That may or may not be something of discussion in coming months and years, Mr. Mike. Mike continued, my dad always said, regret lasts forever. Drop it. Think before you do it. Great advice. Most people live on the idea of karma, you know. Well, I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't like that done to myself. I know that if I do something rude or mean or down to somebody, it's bound to come back because the pendulum always swings, right? So if you try to be a good person, then you don't really have to worry about that pendulum coming back to swing you and slap you in your ass cheeks. And that's philosophy that I've always tried to adhere to. And it's kept me a lot more sane, obviously, than I would be. So lucky for that. This past April, Suicidal Tendencies released a new single, Adrenaline Addict. The band's first new song in 7 years, featuring Muir alongside longtime guitarist Dean Pleasance from the Dillinger Escape Plan guitarist Ben Weinman. Bassist Ty Trujillo. You know, you're gonna get 6 months out on the road with Metallica if your son is in, you know, I don't know what Testament can really do, but they've got to get some, you know, what they should do, fire the drummer. I mean, pardon me on this. Don't fire the drummer, but you go and dig up James Hetfield's son out of that band that he's doing, and you're playing 6 weeks, Testament. You're playing 6 weeks with Metallica. And former Slipknot drummer Jay Weinberg, and I do remember that. The track also includes guest vocals from Nisha Starr. Suicidal Tendencies supported Metallica on the 20 and 25 North American leg of the latter band's M72 World Tour. Metallica do world tours for not one whole stretch around the year, but like 5 years straight. Suicidal Tendencies' last album, still psychopunk after all of these years, was released in 2018 via Suicidal Records, reworking of Muir's 1996 solo outing, Lost My Brain Once Again. Still psychopunk, featured founding Slayer drummer Dave Lombardo. Look at this guy. Those are the eyes of a man that says, "Oh, bleeding bloody hell, I'm only 36 seconds into me 8-minute version of the national anthem." The national anthem. It just sounds ickier and ickier every time you say it, doesn't it? You know, it's like you look out over a beautiful, vast universe, and business suits? Really? Business suits and borders, and you can be here and you can't eat that, and you're going to starve to death. Supposedly richest country in the world. Pardon me, guys. I just had to let that out. I had to let that out. Thank goodness we are on a new track. Thank goodness the new earth is well on its way. Anyways, Bruce he says he does an 8-minute version. And we are not going to watch the whole thing. Or any of it for that matter, because I have a Kiss video that we're going to do instead. I just wanted to see where he was coming up with an 8-minute version. Los Angeles Kings share 8-minute behind the scenes video of Bruce Dickinson's rendition of the U.S. national anthem. My heavens. Unless I'm reading that wrong, maybe it's just an 8-minute video of him hitting a hockey puck around, maybe? Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson sang the national anthem when the Los Angeles Kings hosted the Colorado Avalanche on October 7th at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles as part of the NHL's National Hockey League first day of regulation season play. The game was the third of 3-game broadcast on ESPN on Monday, October. This feels like a story that should be at the end of this thing, because we got one more story. John Bon Jovi, he's going to say, "Baby girl, I got the voice fixed. We're selling tickets." On Monday, October 27th, the official LA Kings channel on YouTube shared an 8-minute behind-the-scenes video of Dickinson's appearance at Crypto.com Arena. Check it out below. White Bruce previously sang the U.S. national anthem on September 14th prior to Pittsburgh Steelers' home opening against the Seattle Seahawks at Acrisure Stadium. You should name your stadium about the beautiful scenery that you've plopped that massive fucking arena in. How about that? How about you name the place for that area that you just destroyed to put a big arena in? I think that's a good idea. Leave the natural. Wouldn't that be beautiful if you saw like a stadium set up, but it left all the natural beauty and the wooding and everything around it, and you called it that instead of InsuranceTech.com Stadium. Buy, sell stocks. Very emotional today. Are you feeling that from me? Is this getting away from us? Dickinson's first reveal that he would sing the U.S. national anthem at the NFL game, and they tried to keep it a secret too. Game during a recent interview with singer Elizabeth Zarahoff. Now, I want to say Elizabeth Zarahoff. That name is the charismatic singer whom is friends with, if you follow along, that singer from Lorna Shore. That's who I think it is. He said at the time, "I'll let you in on a secret. Would you like to know a secret, Elizabeth? I've got to sing the national anthem in Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh Steelers bowling program. They've asked me to do this. I'm going to do it a cappella and stuff. And as long as you start in the right place, you're good to go." I think Elizabeth would agree with you. She's the charismatic vocal. She says, yeah, Bruce, I know that you don't start in, "How say can," because you got nowhere to go. You got to start down there. And if you're doing an 8-minute version of that, you got to go. Every damn fool knows it, okay? Bruce first sang it. God dang it, Bruce first sang it. September 11, yeah. Prior to launching into the U.S. national anthem, Dickinson told the audience at the House of Blues, "So, I'm going to let you in into a dirty little secret that is going to happen on Sunday. I tell my fans at my solo rock concert." "Where is it? So, let the dirty little secret happen at Sunday. I've been asked to sing the national anthem at a Pittsburgh Steelers game. Now, I've never done this before in me fucking life. And I'm trying to avoid the embarrassment of reading the fucking words off the back of me hand." I mean, that's something, right? He's English. He's like, "I don't know the words to that shit. Do you know the words to the English one? It's got to be just about the same. Hello, governor. Here's me tax. Here's me tax. Here's me shit. Pick the trash. Here we go. Governor. Here's me money. Here's me poor. I am poor." It's the same thing, right? Isn't this the greatest place to be, yet we don't care for the people that live on the land? It's the same story. So, because, where are we? "Now, I've never done this before in me fucking life. Pardon me French, I know I keep saying the F's. And I'm trying to avoid embarrassment and reading the words, I won't say that F word again, words off me back of me hand. Look, no writing on the back of me hands here." And he shows the back of the hands, I think. "Or failure to read the auto cue, because fuck me, there is no auto cue, all right? So, because today is the kind of, it can't have escaped your attention that today is 9/11, right?" And everyone in the audience said, "Oh shit, it is, isn't it?" Oh boy, he's going to go through the bloody, gruesome things that took place. "And on that day, I was in New York City, and I witnessed all that shit that happened." That's interesting, Bruce. You might want to have a talk with you. Just, just get a little bit more detail on what you happen to be doing in New York City. "So, normally I do a little bit of like an a cappella. That's just me singing in me own, on my own, a bit of the Iron Maiden song Revelations. Revelations, this one. And I always like to say that too. When I begin the song, I always say, "This is Revelations, this one is." But I thought, with your kind permission, I would have to go at the American National Anthem because it's the only fucking time I'm going to practice it. He's doing this for his concert fans. They're saying, we come to heavy metal shows to avoid that. If we wanted that, we'll go to the sporting events. Do you imagine if every concert started with the Pledge of Allegiance, people would go, what the fuck is going on around here? Right? We were down in Brazil. We're always down in Brazil. Why, we do that Rock in Rio and all those fun gigs down there. A few days ago for a festival appearance. May or may not have been Rock in Rio Festival, but... And I was talking to the punk band. Mates of mine, Bad Religion. I can't explain it. The way you look sometimes, like a trampled flag on a city street. Oh yeah, 'cause I'm a... I know it's a cover, guys. I know Mike Buchanan probably, he's an old punker. And you're gonna say, that's the cover, dude. I know. Okay, I know. And the guy went, oh, the guy? You don't even know his name, Bruce? And the guy went, oh, you're going to sing the anthem? Yeah, that's some dudes that are like, why would you do that? Ask Bad Religion if they'll go sing the anthem at a thing. Or, you know what someone's going to do now? They're going to pull up video of Bad Religion doing the national anthem. All right, no more mints through this whole thing, I promise, okay? We're getting there. And the guy, and let's face it, I don't know their names. The guy, and you're going to sing, and he says, you're going to sing the anthem? And I says, fucking make sure you start low. Oh, maybe Bad Religion do it. That singer doesn't have the octave range to do that, though, does he? He can do a punk version of it, but then sang a few lines of the Star Spangle Banner, occasionally accompanied by fans in the crowd. Bruce then sang a few lines. Little bit. Scream for me, Los Angeles.
120. Will that do? I can make it longer.
Okay, so it was just an 8-minute video.
Yep.
He says, oh, look, sir. He says, sir, look, sir. It's easy for me to bang on a bleeding bloody drum because I do it in my concerts for the Mandrake Project. I play the theremin. And anyone that can find me a good piece, there's a sad song that he plays the theremin on, and I'm dying for good footage of that. Can you tell me about it in the comments below? I'm looking for a good piece of him playing that sad song on the theremin. But he plays drums and everything, so him banging on that big old lake, that big old hockey drum, that don't mean no nothing. He can handle that. Let's get out of here. Look at those eyes. Those are the eyes of a man who's seen love, pleasure, well, and indeed has seen pain and problematic times. But he is well on his way with his fine solo career and great heavy metal rock and roll band from Birmingham, England, dare I say. Iron Maiden, whom they're kicking off a 2026 tour. Just news that you didn't think you were going to get. Well, again, you're getting the good news. This is John Bon Jovi. We're going to watch that Peter Criss, and then we're going to get into your comments. I feel like they're all there. I saw Big Tone was in there, and he was something happened with the comments. I don't know what to do about it. But John Bon Jovi, he says, I guess it's time you're really leaving. And you're leaving by the shore. You say you cried 1,000 rivers. Or is that the Richie Sambora song? Mr. John Bon Jovi says, good news, good news. The problems that we were having in the vocal. I did a video about John Bon Jovi and his vocals, going, what the hell's going on with his vocals? I did this 5 years ago, and I still have people going, you terrible person, you. How dare you? Because then what happens is they, a year or two later, they go, here's the reason for that, and then you feel kind of bad for making the video in the first place. But then you just get a constant barrage of people going, you son of a bitch. It's like, look at the date on that, okay? I was asking the question. He is now confident enough to know that he can sell tickets to his concerts. I've always been confident in that. Even if he sounded like, fucking who's that one guy? Do 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 do. I will remember you. Do do do. Does all those fucking Disney movies. They pull him out of that closet. Say, well, we need another hit for one of our pixelated anime movies. Ding 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 ding. Well, a little time ago. Ding 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 ding. Who's that guy? Short people got to do no reason. He's got some good tunes. But even if John Bon Jovi sounded like that guy, and you were going to a Bon Jovi concert and you go, we gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference to make it all not. Right? They'd still pay for the ticket. I'm confident in your ticket sales. What I'm cautiously nervous of is I want you to succeed in all ways with the vocal. I want you to rip that high vocal there, and the note is perfect, and you turn around and you wink at the band, you say, I'm back. That's what I want. John Bon Jovi, confident he can sell tickets. In a new interview with the How to Fail with Elizabeth Day, she's going to have Elizabeth Day here, I believe her podcast to be How to Fail, because only from failure can you rise from the ash to succeed. Only from failure do you twist, pivot, and turn, and even get more zoned in on what you really want. When things fail, it is the universe saying, that wasn't for you, pal. Unless you're not putting 100% of yourself in it. If it's something that you truly want, and you put 100% of your power and love, and you don't care what anyone else thinks, it will win. You will seize the day. That's what Elizabeth Day is talking about in her podcast. Bon Jovi frontman. Indeed, John Bon Jovi opened up about the vocal cord deterioration he experienced a few years ago. Shane made that video that he's sorry about, okay? Which caused him to have surgery in 2022. And I do believe the video is that old. Asked when he started realizing that there was something awry. That's Elizabeth, she says, now, John, you mind if I call you Jonathan? He says, no, you call me John. You call me Mr. John Bon Jovi. Well, in the latest chapter of the saga This Body, probably 2014 and 2013, I had a tumultuous time. I lost a band member, Richie Sambora, who abruptly quit on us, by the way. Rude. The band, the crew, the fans. He was rude to them all, Richie Sambora was. A couple of business dealings that didn't go the way I'd hoped they would, and we overcame that. And I did 100 shows, and I did 100 shows and preserved. I don't know what that means. Oh, persevered. In 2014, the band crashed out from under me. What am I gonna do? It's like I'm standing there and I started to feel tremors I felt tremors in my ecosystem. And then the band crashed out from under me. And I wasn't even aware. But I know that when I walked by my guitar, not only didn't I touch it, But I gave it the middle finger. I said, hey, fuck you over there in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and flip off that guitar over there in the corner that has given me the beautiful career because I'm having a bad day. So this was odd for me. This was just okay. I'll beat the muscle back. Wait, what? I wasn't all that interested in seeing my friend. And in 2015, when I was attempting to go back to work, maybe even a little bit, something just wasn't right. So this was odd for me. This was just, okay, I'll beat the muscle back into shape. It's what you got to do. You got to beat your muscles back into shape. There's a lot of new interesting thing about frequency healing. So, you know, when you get those solfeggio frequencies, or you get those hertz frequencies or whatever, you can listen to that. It's all on Spotify and stuff. Heals the body vibrationally, puts things back into alignment. You know, it's like, that's ridiculous, Shane. How could that ever fucking work? Well, how does Wi-Fi work? How do all the radio stations exist at the same time? You just change the channel up and down to where you want to go. Guys, I'm starting to get sick of this. Not the podcast by and by. This could be a fairly short one today. I'm feeling like. Because we're going to get into that Kiss thing right after this. And and that Richie fucking Sambora, you abruptly quit on us. He quit on everybody. Let's not even lie. He quit on everybody. But I didn't want to touch my guitar. And when I was attempting to go back to it and try even a little bit, I knew something wasn't right. I had to beat that muscle back into shape. There was something wrong. But I couldn't figure it out. In 2016, we put out a record called This House Is Not For Sale. This house is not for sale. It's very much a statement record. There's a chip on my shoulder. We work. But again, physically, I'm not quite right, and I don't know why. So, the tour is very short. After that, seeing this is where my video came in. As we were writing what was to become the 2020 album, and then COVID happens, you're thinking about touring because there is no such thing. And about 2022, when the world is opening up again, I'm thinking, okay, what's the big deal? Let's go. I'm past these difficulties. This house is not for sale. I'm past COVID like everyone else. I'm dying to get out there in the world. What happens? You got to get out in the world and smell the fresh air and put your feet in the grass. I do what is to become a 15-show tour. That's where my video was in, okay, guys? And it's just not working anymore. I don't understand it because it's a cliche world. They say, well, what have you done? What excesses? It wasn't that. So he's talking about drugs and all that stuff. He said none of that. He has himself a glass of Chardonnay, a little Martini and Rossi Monte, in an evening fashion, not even before bedtime, but in the comfortable, relaxing hours of the eve, out on in the grotto. Okay. The only thing that was ever been up my nose is my fingers. It wasn't working, and I willed it. And I tried very hard on a daily basis on a 15-show tour, which is practically, you don't even bring a change of socks for 15 shows. I mean, well, when you're in comfort like you are, if you're doing 15 shows as a death metal band in a van, you need fresh stuff every day. It's like that's nothing. At the end of the 15 shows, I remember going into that dressing room in Nashville, good old Tennessee, down there. I sang to my wife. Gee whiz, what is it, dear? It was pretty good. She looked at me and she said, it wasn't. Oh, she gave you the real beef. It wasn't. People think, oh, what a blow. It really wasn't. Because she's going to tell me the truth. My Gloria, she tells me the truth. What is his beloved's name? She deserves a shout out for saying that. Saying, yeah, don't. You know, some people, you know, how dare you come at me? You people in those comments over there saying, how dare you talk about him? His own damn wife laid the truth out to him, just like I'm trying to do. And he's fixed now. Well, time for a drink, that's what I says. I don't think I could do this anymore. I don't know why. But I'm okay with walking away from this because, let's face it, it's a good place to walk away from if you old John Bon Jovi. But because there's no way I'm dragging down the legacy, the brand, the marketing, the trademarking, the copywriting. And that began my journey to go, what got me here tonight, speaking with you. Beautiful, beautiful and delightful Elizabeth Day of your fine podcast, How to Fail with Elizabeth Day. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get into this. Peter Criss here. I did not even know that he had I didn't know he had a YouTube page. I do have to use the restroom, guys. Very quickly, and we're going to watch this. Original Kiss drummer Peter Criss is teasing a Halloween announcement. You guys know what it is. What of what are expected to be the first official details of his upcoming solo album. Oh, cool. Earlier today, the 79-year-old musician shared a spooky video on his social medias in which the date October 31, 2025 flashes on the screen, followed by the name of two record labels, Flatiron and Silvercat. Well, I've got to see that. So nothing will be released? Is that what we're going with? Is nothing will be released? Oh, John 5 here, guys. Let's see what he says about this. This past April, Peter spoke to Rock Express with Mike Brunn. He's very good, Mr. Mike Brunn. He got those interviews with Vinnie Vincent about his upcoming rock solo album, Peter Criss, which was co-produced by Criss alongside Barry Pointer, who has worked with Ozzy Osbourne, John 5, Motley Crue, Steve Stevens, Pearl Ade, and Dolly Parton. Joining the legendary Kiss musician on the LP are Billy Sheehan, The Fingers McGee on the bass guitar, Matthew Montgomery, a.k.a. Piggy D. Oh. Bury that name, Matthew Montgomery. Bury it down there and be Piggy D forever. On bass, John 5 and Mike McLaughlin on guitar with Paul Schaefer. He said, come on, Paul, you know you're going to be in my album. Good on you. He said, yeah, I'm excited. Peter said, I got great players on it. I got Billy Sheehan and Paul Schaefer and John 5 and Michael, my guitarist, and I got Piggy D. I don't call him Matthew Montgomery. To hell with that name. Scratch me on that name. I call him Piggy from Rob Zombie. So it's like a dream team, but it's a real Peter Criss album. It's an album, and I always wanted to do it, and hopefully the fans will love it. I changed that for you, Peter, because we will love it. We won't just like it. We'll love it. Wouldn't it be great if there was 1 billion people that listen to this podcast and we could make his album go to #1 on the charts? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Like, Peter Criss's Halloween record just went #1 on the charts. It literally blew Taylor Swift and all of them out of the water. Peter Criss, yeah. The album will be Criss's first solo album since 2007's One for All, which has arrived at 13 years. I know the Kiss nuts, they go freak for this stuff. I had an absolute blast doing this album, and everyone was so much fun to work with. They were just amazing. Criss told the Rolling Stone to the upcoming LP, "I will be doing more in-depth interviews closer to the release date in the fall." The first details of Criss's new rock solo album were released in April by a fan Kiss-storian, Julian Gill, I'll have you know, who has been running KissFAQ.com, I'll have you know, since the mid-1990s. That's the place to go then, with the most accumulated stuff, right? Criss had previously touched upon a new solo album back in 2014, promising at the time that the LP would be heavier than the stuff he had done in the past, because he was doing a lot of them, 1950 songs, and it's like 2025, Peter, we don't want to hear a 80-year-old man singing Blue Moon, I saw you standing alone without a dream in your heart. I want to see that. No one else does. Let's see. Peter. Again, you don't see this at all. CD Noir Detective. Is it going to be heavy, Rod? Indeed, guys, that is indeed exactly what they just did. Yeah. Exactly everything I read there exactly happened in that thing. You didn't even get a tasty little nipple. You didn't even get a little squirt. You didn't even get a little squirt of a taste of what he's cooking up. But you already know what he's cooking up because you've already listened to it right now. Let's look at what we've got here. I never know where I'm popping up. I think that's Wolfgang. I watched a little bit of that interview. Wolfgang is he's an extreme talent. Wolfgang Van Halen there. And you got some Kiss, FAQ.com. But what I wanted to say is that Dave Grohl better be up. He says, let's listen to a couple new tracks off the end record that you got going on there. And they're pretty, the kid's writing all the music himself. You can say all you want. And he says this in that interview. People talk about my genes, Oh, it's your daddy's genes gave you good genes. You make the good music. But he plays all of those instruments, and he has been playing for 20 years. And Eddie Van Halen, some would say he's the smartest man in the world, started him on drums first. And he speaks on that, how drums first really, and I'm on bass now, so as soon as I learn I know how to play the drums, as soon as I learn how to play the bass, learn how to play that keyboard, it's over. All people must just stop making music because I'll be making the best music. I want everyone to continue making music, but, let's get into your comments, guys. Good news here is we do have all of you. I'm gonna zing through this as fast as I can, and hopefully I can get through all of your comments. But I thank you. This is the greatest part of the podcast. It's where you get down there and you kind of address last episode. So join us on this journey, okay? And again, I'm looking at episode 1, and it is 954 views 3 years ago. Johnny B. December 30th, 1998, Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Ted Nugent, a.k.a. Ted Nugent, but I call him Nugentine for reasons that are beyond me. Fred Nugentine, Ted Nugentine. Skid Row and the original lineup of Kiss. Really? Because it was the Nugentine came on and did a 35-minute set of hits. Skid Row then followed with a 45-minute set and played a Kiss song at the end, but I don't remember what one. Then came the main event, and for my very first time, I saw Ace, Petey, Paulie, and Gene. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! It was amazing, and it's definitely in my top 10 greatest shows. That whole night was a lot of fun just in general. I'll never forget it, and I'll never forget Ace's solo with his smoking Les Paul and lightning coming out of it. Do you remember your first time? And if so, when was it? When MTV was still a music channel, and I'll tell you right now what I watched last night. Someone put up the first 2.5 hours of MTV ever, and it is so interesting. Commercials are in it and everything. It's like 1983, and it comes on. Pretty nostalgic to watch that. And played videos from time to time. Mr. Nugentine, who is from Michigan, came on and stated that the show was incredible and he isn't known to speak highly of anyone. I may have spoke ill of this show in the past due to the fact that I thought it would have been longer. But looking back, they played for an hour and 45 minutes, and I guess that's actually decent. I've made dumb statements in the past that I've regretted, and that's one of them. That's one of them. Well, I may have missed something in there, but everyone does it, my friend. This is your life. This is it. Everyone, I'll tell you something right now. Every single person watching me or not watching me or hearing me or not hearing me at all, every single person has done bad things. Every single person has done not good things. Every single person has said things that are not good or great or rotten or rude or whatever. But the key to this is finding, accepting, not saying, oh, I don't know what you're talking about there. Yes, I did. Yes. I was that way. I am no longer that way. Grab that stuff, look at it, tear it apart, and say, you're out of me. So this is you finding regrets and you saying, this is something that, and now it's gone. Blow it out. You don't have to announce it to the world. You can announce your stuff to yourself. But see it, look at it, dissolve that negativity, that pain. You know that feeling when you're thinking of a negative, something that, anxiety. That's what you're after, is killing that feeling. So look at that thing from your past until you go, yeah, I see, yeah. I'm not that person any longer. You're always working your way towards the light. You're like a guppy, and you've been down in at the bottom of the sea, and you're slowly working your way up towards that light. And in order to do that, you have to get rid of all the negativity and all the stuff that's stuck in here. And as soon as you get rid of that, you're light enough to... And then you turn into a little bird, and you fly around. I'm going to try to keep the launching into stuff. I know that this Big Tone's going to be short because I think he's a bit upset. But so this is Johnny B. So years ago, I made a friend who is close to the band Tool. Every now and again, this friend of mine would pass info along to me as far as the goings on with the band. I knew 3 weeks before it was public that Tool's 2009 album would be named Fear Inoculum. For Maynard announced it on Rogert, the Joe Rogan podcasts. Just little tidbits like that from time to time. It's good to get little tidbits, isn't it? Mostly, this info would be stuff about upcoming tours and whatnot. Not a big deal, but it's stuff a Tool geek such as myself loves to hear. Anywhoots, this friend contacted me last week. He said, hey, Johnny, keep this under your breadbasket, all right? He said the parts he heard, he got contacted me last week, and he said, what? And he said, had a bit of info about Megadeth. Am I going to be right on the money? He said he heard parts of the new album coming out in January of 2026. He said The parts he heard were absolutely amazing, and the diehards would be appeased to glory. He said that there's a song entitled Angel Tits. Are you fucking with me now? As well, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom, you guys. As well, I asked him if he was putting me on, because you knew that's what I'm thinking. And he said, no, it's called Angel Tits. And it's the heaviest song I've heard them do. So you heard it here first. The song Angel Tits by Megadeth is going to be spectacular. I got to go to the bathroom, guys. But when I come back, I've got a quick question to ask you about an email that I received. Oh, Mr. Jones. I've still got angel tits on my mind, okay? But here's a question I got to ask. I get a lot of emails from promoters. And I'll tell you this right now. Creator will have a brand spanking new song, surprise, the new single, October 31st, Halloween. And I think it's Trainplatte. It's a German phrasing for it. But that will be out October 31st, Creator. Now, here's why I say that. Is I get the promoters from time to time, they get in there and they say, hey, we're going to give you the early scoops on some of this stuff. And I love that. I love it if you're saying, hey, here's a video that you can do so you can put it out on October 31st. I'm not going to do that. The Creator video is not going to come out on it because I dictate what I do, how I want, when I want, and everything else. But I do love getting those offers that come in from the promoters. My only issue with it is if those bands, if you're hitting me up as the promotion guy, and you're saying, hey, if you want dibs on this, I want them bands to post that shit. Is that too much for me to ask? Is that if you get a hold of me and you ask me, now this is nothing against the PR team, against Creator. I'm just saying that if you get a hold of me and them, and then I do it, and then there's no bother of sharing, so it's just like, oh look, there's another fan over there that did a video about what we got going on over here. You know, it's like, it helps me too. You know, when these bands, it's like I've said 1,000 times, one of these bands one day will start posting my shit on their social medias, and it's going to get everyone else going. All the other bands go, well, I wonder if he's done us. I wonder if he's done us. And one band is going to be responsible for this channel, or maybe several bands that we've done on this channel. There's been thousands. Safely at least 1,500 bands we've done on this channel. But I'm just saying, if you send me that, if I do that, or if I correspond with you and say, okay, yeah, let's go for it, it would be nice to know that it's going to end up. And maybe that's why they can't do that, is because I'm not going to yes or no to anybody ever, right? If I like it, I like it. I think I'm pretty good about not being a complete bastard about, you know, ripping your shorts down and taking a dump on the album or anything like that. I'm a pretty level reviewer of sorts. Forget it. Forget I said anything. Angel tits. Yeah, angel tits. Is it going to be my favorite Megadeth song ever? Is this an early April Fool's joke? We don't know. We're going to find out all together. That's it for me. I hope everyone is good and healthy and doing well. Until next time, keep looking up, keep asking questions, keep your tits above the high water mark. Nothing but love to you. I like them right under it, bud. If the water's warm, I like the nipples to be under the water. I like it right up there at the clavicle. Hashtag get Shane to 100K and hashtag angel tits there. The big tone. The wonderful big tone here. Big tone, please. Please, big tone. Please don't take it easy on my buttocks. Please. Brother Shane. After being nuked again from the 201 comments For no apparent reason, I've decided to keep it short till I get off the proverbial radar. R.I.P. Ace, the Spaceman, Alive 1, was once my go-to album. Okay, so what he's done here is he's literally put it all in. He's saying, rest in peace to the Spaceman, and then Wasp's Alive 1 record, the first Wasp record, was always his go-to record. That's very good taste. Another one taken too soon. Oh, wait. Boy, how out of sorts am I? Alive 1, Kiss Alive 1, not... I've got Alive 1 tour album from Wasp on my mind, but he's talking of Kiss Alive 1, where I have said Kiss Alive 2 is the one that I enjoy. Thank you, bud. Well wishes to the Diablo Big Four and all other Diablicals. Heavy metal emoticons up. Great job with 201 and great job again on 202. The nature walks are enjoyable and seem to be bringing in more followers. And as always, keep them coming, brother. Heavy metal emoticons. I'm just telling you guys, some secrets that I have figured out. And it is and believe you me when I say this, it is every single thing in the world that they've ever told you. That's ridiculous. Everything that any person that has a degree of some sort on a wall and in a goddamn business suit has ever told you, has ever said, that's ridiculous. It's all true. My new motto is I don't trust any of that stuff anymore, because when you let go of it all, when you take 15 minutes of time to yourself and you say, I am not responsible for anything or anyone or anything for the next 15 minutes. In fact, nobody exists. Now you say, oh, but my children, Shade, pull your head out of your ass, okay? When you sit and you say nothing, I am zero. I am nothing. I am ether, air, water, fire, wind. It's what they don't want you to go do. Look for it there. Look in the movie. Look in the show. Look in the news. Look in the billboard. Look at this. Look at that car crash. Look at this. Stay away from in here. So the only thing I say to you is, what is in here that they don't want you going in to find out? And the good news here is, there ain't nobody that can tell you or do for you, but tell you, go inside. Is it a pain in the ass? Was I 100% against it all? Yeah. Was I one of those guys that goes, I feel uncomfortable even sitting here in a meditation pose? Because I'm too cool. I'm too tough guy. When you get rid of all of that and all of the ego and everything else, my God, your life will... I believe in her. I believe in her. All right, Big Tone, good job. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep diligently working my heart towards getting this shit fixed. Now, guys, you know that if I had control over YouTube, we'd have some differences going on here. Look, when I go into the search on YouTube, did I tell you guys last week I'm looking for concert vlogs? I'm looking for festival people. I like those channels where it's like a 2 or 3 hour video and it's them at a concert. Hey guys, what's up? And then they show you clips of the bands. Thought I talked about that last time a little bit with, I don't even know where I was going with that, but the point being, I enjoy watching that kind of shit. Maybe it'll come back to me. I forgot. Hashtag get Shane to 100K. R.I.P. Brother Jay. Yes. Quit nuking big hashtag. He's got his own hashtag here now. Hashtag quit nuking big town. My God, he's a man on a mission. Dolls. Who's this? Jay Sings. 38 comments and 6 hearts, my friend. You're getting another one. Jason Guy. I love my dolls. You must believe me. It's plain to see. They really love me. And I'm going to say that is not a request that he's asking for because everyone knows that we've done dolls already, right? Miss Althea coming in here. She's got her stuff and her goodies. The Dumbstruck Fool says, rest in peace, dearest Ace. The one and only spaceman forever. All of his real best moments from Phantom were missing from that compilation. I agree. What happened to, and you've got guns, yeah. What happened to insufficient data at this moment, Star Child? Nah. What happened to a little star power doesn't hurt either? What happened to leave it to me, Star Child. I'll bend these beams with my... I think he was like the main talker. And Paul was agitated by that. Hey, wait a minute. You're looking for someone, but it's not us. And then you got all these lines over here, you know. Leave it to me, Star Child. I'll bend these beams with my mind. Miss Althea says, come on, man. And for anyone out there unaware, Ace had a bit part in a 2005 movie titled Remedy. He played a drug dealer named Johnny. And I saw another YouTube channel I've been loving. And I'm trying to find all of the episodes, but it's like one of the first video television programs in like San Francisco. It's called Reality Check TV. And I think I saw a clip where they're interviewing Ace and someone else about being in that movie. Or it was Howard Stern. Anyways. He's in a movie called Remedy. He played a drug dealer named Johnny, and about 4 minutes in total screen time. This is a video out. There is a video out there that breaks it all down. Check it out. He actually does a really good job, in my opinion. I still seriously cannot comprehend that he's gone. I mean, like, what the hell? This wasn't like with my beloved Eric, where he was ill and it was imminent. This was out of nowhere. Them hits, man, when you get up to there in the age and stuff and you take a fall, it's just, that's what it was, wasn't it? And it was not an epic rock star style death that one would have expected the way he lived his life for so many years. I hope that made sense. I absolutely did not mean that to sound disrespectful in any way. I mean, how many times did Ace cheat death in the past between multiple car wrecks and assorted other incidents? Yeah. I may not be remembering correctly, but wasn't there a time during Kiss Prime when one of the other guys found Ace passed out drunk in a bathtub, this close to drowning? I think you're right. I remember something like that, like them walking in and he was in the tub and they pulled him out before he was drowning himself. He was truly a rock soldier until the very end. The morning after his passing, SXM's Hair Nation played, Sirius XM's Hair Nation played that song as I was driving to work. I was doing okay until it got to Ace's Back, and I told you so. Then I started crying behind the wheel. Now I'm starting to get all verklempt again. This is hitting her heart. Damn it. And I honestly cannot believe in all your years of being a Kiss fan, you have never seen or heard Ace's real name. I didn't know it. I knew Stanley Eason. I knew Gene Klein, something else. And then, yeah, I didn't know him. I really tried to steer away from that stuff. I can't look at Gene Simmons and say he's Gene Klein, the school teacher. I can't do it. I got to see Gene Simmons, blood shooting demon. Damn it. And honestly, I can't believe it. In all these years, Kiss fan, you've never heard of Ace's real name. Let me put it this way. It's been a running joke for decades. Oh, it has. That, with the original 4 members, there was already a Paul in the band, and his real name wasn't even Paul. Yeah, it was Stanley. But he liked Paul. He probably saw, what was that, Halloween? They were already out as a band by then, but we're actually going, oh, Paul, oh, Paul. Miss Althea on GNR, Danzig, Dream Theater, don't care, don't care, don't care. Madness and one step beyond. And you can't not say that way. You know, the nuttiest thing around. I mean to weigh in on the lyric issue, but I guess I got derailed. I don't think what is up on Spotify, which I am not a fan of, is correct. They have it transcribed as the nuttiest sound around, but I am fairly certain dude is saying in honor of Ace. Huh? Nuttiest sound around, but I am fairly certain dude is saying nutsiest. Okay, so it's still the word. They're just saying it with a little more giggle and fun. Or they're saying the damn word that I think they're saying, and then when they say that is scrub it. Because they don't sing about things that are terrible human behaviors. If you think in those ways, all is not lost, but stop thinking in those ways. You say, well, I can't, Shane. I just feel like I'm a racist person. No, you're not. You have been through trials and tribulations in your life since birth until now, the person you are, that has given you those ideas and thoughts to say that these are the things that you are. You are none of that. Nothing from school, nothing that the parents ever taught you. You're nothing. So the good news here is you can drop all of that right now and be free of it. And then begin to find your way back to how do I break that feeling, that cycle, that thing that was given to me. You know? Watch 15 kids in a kindergarten class. They're all lollygagging and giggling and pinching and poking and tickling each other and having a gay old time. And it had nothing to do with how tall, short, fat, small, big, color, whatever. All of that starts to come from everything that you taught and learned. It's all there to separate, so let's just remember that. So he's saying the nutsiest, not the same as nuttiest. Right. Because nuttiest is like a taste flavor, and they're saying nutsiest because we're English. We don't like saying nuttiest. And that does sound very American, doesn't it? Nuttiest. Have you heard that song from Madness? I mean, it is just the nuttiest damn thing you'd ever hear. In honor of Ace this week, I am keeping it spacey. Boo, 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 boo. Little alien face. I love seeing them alien faces more and more every time. It'll be good to get used to that, guys. You're going to want to get used to alien faces. You know, if you are one of those people that are having issues with skin color, you got a hell of a lot of shit you're going to have to start learning about, okay, and dealing with. So, I mean, you know, now's a good time to start putting down all that stuff that doesn't belong to you anyways, okay? Thank you, Miss Althea. Ryan coming in here, he says, that intro was a toe tapper. And that right there is one of the great compliments that you can give me. An ass clapper or a toe tapper is perfectly good. Let's see how Ryan's got here. On 7 comments, 4 hearts received. You did get that 5 today. And Jody, 138. 138. This might be a comment for someone completely different because there's only 1 comment here from Jody. You will be receiving a heart today, so congratulations on you earning that first heart. You're well on your way. Was Steve's band you played with China or Black 29? I don't know. I never played in a band with a man named Steve ever in my life. Black 29 does sound familiar to me, as if I've heard it, but I don't know what any of that is to be obvious and sure about it. But I give you a heart anyways. Mike Buchanan, we got Zoink down there, and he put a request in. Someone gave him the business, so we don't even have to acknowledge this one. Hey, King 810, man, those guys are Detroit, Michigan's fucking King 810. Go over there and say, hey, buddy, give me everything in your wallet. Go talk to those guys. Go ask those guys that. Go try to take their wallets in King 810. See what happens over there. Mike Buchanan will indeed end this off in a fine, fine way. I'm wishing all of you, I hope you guys all had a happy Halloween. I'm always so bad at kind of, what do you call it, collaging together the week's videos so they have a theme, you know, like it's coming close to the holiday season, or it's coming close to Halloween, or whatever. So, you know, I'm hoping you all had a wonderful Halloween. It is yet to take place. That is indeed tomorrow. But I feel, for me personally, I feel like today is a very wonderful day, cosmically speaking. How many mints have I had in this thing? 3? I'm not going to have another one. But it is one of those things, right? If I want to grow and change and get to my full potential, I had to let the nicotine go, which I knew was gnawing at me, saying, you should put that down already, and you got to do it. Mike Buchanan coming in here, the 69er. What? With the passing of Ace Frehley, and believe it or not, Shane, this week's Movies That Are Bad But We Love Them Anyways is Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, 1978. Robot Kiss is my new favorite band. Rip, rip, rip and destroy. They were kind of cooler, weren't they? When the lights go down, Kiss turns up the terror. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest freak show of the 1970s. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park is a carnival ride of polyester, pyrotechnics, and pure cinematic madness. A deranged scientist lurks beneath the theme park, crafting robot doubles of the hottest band in the world. His plan, you ask? Replace the real Kiss and unleash chaos on innocent thrill seekers. His mistake? Forgetting that these boys don't just rock. We come with superpowers. Gene Simmons roars like a demon straight from hell. Paul Stanley fires laser from his magic star eye. Now, I'm going to stop right there, but have you seen that video I made several years ago using the green screen where I'm in one of those little Kiss Meets the Phantom boat rides, and I'm flying around through the opening credits of Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, and I believe the video is called Shane Meets the Phantom of the Park, and I'll bet it's only been seen 1,000 times. I guarantee that's what it's called, and I took the painstaking time to green screen me into the opening credits of Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, and I bet it's been seen 1,000 times. Just often over there in Neverland. Paul Stanley, he has his magic laser from his magic star eye. Ace Frehley teleports with Saturday morning sound effects, and Peter Criss, well, his voice may not match his lips, but his Catman claws are still ready for battle. What follows is a delirious mashup of Scooby-Doo shenanigans, kung fu slap fights, cheap special effects, and rock and roll so loud it could wake the dead. It's campy, it's clunky, it's glorious. This isn't just a movie, it's an artifact. A neon-stained spandex-wrapped nightmare dream where rock gods fight androids and nobody questions why. It's so bad it's good. And then it gets even better. So pop the tape in, crank the volume, prepare the wildest, weirdest night at the amusement park you'll ever survive. Rock and roll will never be the same. And I want to say, isn't there kind of a side story in there? Because they're like, we can't have the straight through line. So there's like some biker gang or something that are doing goofy shit that they kind of like, all right, let's get away from the Kiss crap for a minute. And it's been a while. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play if you dare. And now Mike Buchanan ending out this episode. I'll give him his heart right now. I give him that. We go. Mike Buchanan on Ace Frehley. Man, what is there to say about Ace? I have a very vivid memory of a classmate bringing in a Kiss album for show and tell. That could have been something what I remember too, where I sat up going, "What's that?" It was probably 1978-ish. That was the first time ever hearing Kiss. Yes, the teacher played a song. Apparently, she was a fan of the band. I would say that Kiss was my introduction into rock and roll world that eventually led to becoming a metalhead. I never got to see Ace during his first run with Kiss. I didn't either. But I did get to see him in the 90s. Now, I saw his solo stuff, but then I did see him with the reunion. And I think I made a video where I just got the year wrong. I'm very bad with decades. And it turned into this thing where people are going, "They didn't fucking go to that concert because it happened in 1996 and he said 2006. It's all a blur to me. It means nothing. Linear time means zip. It's spiral, baby, okay? So don't get up my ass about it, but I saw that tour, yes, the 90s one, where they got back together. Apparently, she was a fan of the band, and I got to see him in the 90s with the reunion. Man, could he play the guitar. He's going to be missed for sure. R.I.P. Spaceman. And Mike Buchanan on Guns N' Roses. I lost all respect for that band when I saw them on the Monsters of Rock tour, and they were about an hour late to start their show. He kind of just is, he's like that, isn't he? On Glenn Danzig, with 2 N's. My name has 2 N's on it. That makes it more good. I'm going to hit up Patreon with tons of requests. You would think that he would welcome any kind of attention to his music just to get it out in front of today's youth. He don't. In fact, it's getting harder and harder to find, he don't. Otherwise, he's just going to fade away. And yes, I'm joking about requests for Glenn. Thank you for that. You got my pulse racing for a minute. Because that little fella, man, his little crony, he'll come right in there. And then he tries to strong-arm you. He gets you, it's not like they block the video. When they block a video, it's like, nope, just can't show up on the channel. When they strike you, when someone goes, how dare you? That goes on your channel. You get 3 of them, you go away forever. They just delete the whole thing and say goodbye. So then, when you do something from Mr. Glenn, and then his crony, whom he's paying, because this guy, I do have emails, he says, I'm getting paid quite well to do what I do, and if you'd like me to take, basically say, all right, take the mark away, he's okay, I got to cough up money. That's extortion. I love his music. This Mike Buchanan. I love his music, but I don't want to get into trouble over it. Thank you for that. You don't want any of us getting in trouble. If Glenn if he wants to be admired by from afar, that's fine. He can do that. Seems that a lot of bands nowadays are taking a stance against phones at shows. I think so. I think that, and to be honest with you, if I'm in a heavy metal band, for the first few years, I think film it. But when you start to get up there, I think one thing that comes to you is you're like, you know what? I want the fans to be into the music. I mean, sure, you could say, well, we're rich now and you're making money off of all of our videos that you go and putting up. You got to be some kind of a jerk to be like that. But I do think that what it is people are going to be more active when they're not staring at their phones. They're going to be there with the hands up and rocking out. If you don't have your phone like this in front of your face, you got your hands doing this. That's what they want. So I understand. And there's no jokes of the week, Mike. Is this where you done an edit? Let's see if we can see an edit in there. Yes, 3 days ago, edit. I wonder if I could bring up, I mean, I can't. Shane Diablo, Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park video. Here it is. You're not going to see this. You're not going to see it if they... I'll just give you a little bit of it. You can go watch it for yourself. Here's me going down a roller coaster. All right, now look, guys, that's called Shane. Look, let's look at it right there. There's me. I'm fatter. This is a way newer shirt, too. Look at that. It's 2 minutes and 30. It's 3 minutes long, guys. It's been seen 796 views 6 years ago. Shane meets Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. And you're welcome to go watch that at any time, okay? And, well, I feel like that's a nice picture to look at while we get out of this episode. Look, any things that have come out, I'm just telling to you, my sweetest closest, this is how you can apply these to your life and watch how wonderfully your blood pressure and your life can change. And it takes a lot of time, and I'm still going through it. But anything I'm feeding to you people, it's because I love you. And if you just listen a little bit, just a little bit, it'll go a long way. And that's what people say to me too. I need to listen. I need to listen more. You think you know everything, but you need to listen more. It's true. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Feeling it in my hips. Something with more meat on it. Come on. There we go. Get up, get down, get up, get down, get up, get down. Get up, get down, get up, get down, get up, get down. Shane meets a Kiss, meets a Phantom of the Park. Shane meets a Kiss, meets a Phantom of the Park. Go watch a video, Phantom of the Park. Shane meets a Kiss, meets a Phantom. Thank you for tuning in to 203. And now we started, began, we began, now we at the end, and Jive Talkin with Shane D. Get your motherfucking heavy metal news for free. You can get it up front, you can get it in the back, baby. You can get it Jive Talkin with Shane D. Get your heavy metal motherfucking news for free. You can get it right here every week. Come on, baby, baby. Come on, baby, 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 baby.